So when you did your ancestral DNA and you discovered that you were from Cameroon, and how did you feel about that?
Oh, I tried to dig every research I could about my tribe,
Okay.
every resource about Cameroon. I even joined all type of Facebook groups. And moreover,
Yeah.
I cried for many weeks. Yes, I did.
Wow.
Because I just couldn't believe that all these years I just been told a lie. And it hurts to be told a lie. And I'm 40 years old. That really hurts to know that because the only thing that we are taught here in the United States that we were slaves. That's it. Nothing else. So to find out that we are more than just that you got written in that history book, it hurts to find that out.
Yeah.
But what I want to bring to Cameroon and the healthcare system is electronic health records. I noticed when I Googled some of the schools and read about it, you're still on paper. And that's something that we need to get away from. Because if all that paper burns, then we have no records of our people's health. Really, you have to try to understand this and not to be just because he's a leader and doing wrong by us. That don't mean that we should go off and disrespect him.
Powerful.
I feel that we have to understand where he's coming from. Because back then, our leaders were assassinated. So you have to understand the things that he doing out of fear. But when you got a young generation that's going on, we're not in fear. We're not going to let you push us around. And all that talking about that they keep talking about going back to slavery, we ain't going back there. We not going back there. So ain't no need of you even talking about that.
Yeah.
So it's a difference when you're talking about long time ago in the back 1960s and 70s up to 2024.
Oh, yeah.
When you got the young generation coming along, because we're not scared to lay down.
Yeah.
Versus compared to back then.
Yeah. So you were saying that you don't see any reason why we should be paying taxes to France, that we can have complete control over our resources, unite the nation, and be able to move forward as a people.
Yes, because yes, it's instead of paying resources to France, that money that we paying taxes to, we can take that money and build roads ourselves, build business ourselves. We do not need them. If we're going to pay taxes, make the taxes benefit us. They're not benefiting us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another interesting segment. As you all know, the initiative here is to help foster development in our beautiful nation, Cameroon. And you know that our target audience is Cameroonians below the age of 40 who believe that we can achieve peace, unity, freedom, and prosperity in Cameroon without violence. If you are above the age of 40 and you believe in this initiative, we welcome you. Today, we will be having an interesting conversation with an amazing guest. Uh, this woman has love for Cameroon. She wasn't born in Cameroon. She was born in the United States of America. Her ancestors came to America as slaves. But as she did her ancestral DNA, she realized that her family came from Cameroon. And looking at what we have been going through for the past 7 to 8 years, she wants to cooperate to help this nation move forward. And so she reached out to me and she poured her heart for the nation and her love for Cameroon. and I thought it wise to share this beautiful woman and her experience with fellow Cameroonians. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mrs. Wendy. Mrs. Wendy, how are you doing today, ma'am?
Oh, just fine. How is everybody doing?
Everybody's doing great. It's a pleasure, and I'm so glad that you are on this show right now. I want you to talk briefly, get to introduce yourself to the people and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am Wendy, which you told everybody my name. I'm from a real small area in the United States. We have about probably 1,500 people here, not very big at all. But my experience of waking up and finding out who I am, like I said, I did do my DNA test, and it came back that I was 100% from the Master tribe that lived in the north of Cameroon. So that just gave me a very good interest of me coming back home.
Amazing. Beautiful.
And yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure, Miss Wendy, you've heard about some of the hurdles and wars and infighting in Cameroon. But regardless,
Yeah.
you felt like, what is your perspective on that? Hearing Cameroonians fighting against Cameroonians, or what do you make of that?
I think that we are fighting for nonsense. Something that Constitution put in place in 1960,
Yes.
and we still fighting each other when we ought to be uniting and taking back our land and resources. There's no need for us to fight over something that was wrote way on back then to divide us and continue to divide us. Why are we still divided over what they want? It's time for us to come back home, and to unite our people there.
Beautiful.
And if it's a problem with talking different languages, I think we can learn French, or they can learn English. Matter of fact, we can even take one of the tribe languages and be just one language and speak with one voice. Why not?
Yep. Yeah. So what part of the states are you in, ma'am?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It's deep down south.
Beautiful.
So you can imagine that we are still under just under the mental slavery part, where everything is not actually free like they say it's free, or independent, because we have to go through so much loops to get things from the government. Like, I think in different parts, like probably Florida, you can easily go online and print stuff off. We actually have to call where they got to hear our voice to see or read.
You were sharing your story regarding your experience, like you live in Arkansas, and that is in the South. So you were talking about the experience in the South. Can you continue with that story?
Well, in the South, we have to jump through hoops to get the information that we need for, it's like, just for instance, like a bonding title. I just recently filed for a bonding title. We can't go online and file for the bonding title like you can in Texas or Louisiana. You actually have to fill it out on paper. You can't email it to them. You got to mail it through mail, and they want everything signed by hand. I don't know what that's for, but that's what they want. So when you mail it, it takes 10 to 25 days in order for them to approve it. Then you can go on the website to a security bond agency and pay for the security bond, which the security bond is online, which I could have just went online and paid for it at first on the same website, but I have to get the okay through Arkansas in order to do anything. Mostly everything is on paper. Me and my husband here, we have a school here, the Easterling Barber College. And I also started my own school for EBJ School of Professional Study, where I was teaching medical coding, because that is my field of study, which I have a master's degree in. And my heart is to teach it, not to work in the field, to bring something back home to my people.
Beautiful.
But unfortunately, in the Southeast where I live at, it's pretty much what school they going to allow to be on the program where they give financial assistance to the students. Well, fortunately, another school, well, it's more than one college, the same college in the area. They want them instead of me, and basically just told me, well, UAM teaches it, so I can't teach it. That's
Beautiful.
basically what was told to me.
Amazing.
So, but we do still deal with the, I say, neo-colonizers, because the ones that approve the application of course, our people.
Yeah.
So it's still just like over in Cameroon. We have leaders that's going to do for them and not for us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know we had a little bit of glitch in the audio. So I want you to maybe reiterate, like, just repeat what you just said regarding your perspective on what you see happening in Cameroon for the past 7 to 8 years. We have been fighting a war, internal war, English-speaking Cameroonians against French-speaking Cameroonians. Like, it's really the English-speaking Cameroonians fighting the government, right? Fighting the government over resources. Like, the people in the English zone feel like they should have complete control over their resources. They feel like they are being marginalized. They feel like they don't have a fair chance in Cameroon like everyone else. And so they want to split up the nation so that they can administer a new nation that they call Ambazonia. So what is your take on this infighting within Cameroon? What do you have to say about it?
Well, the fighting there just don't make sense to me, because we fighting for the wrong reasons. For the wrong reasons when our resources are being exported out. They like to use the words exported, but to me, I just like to keep it plain and simple. They stealing our resources. That's what they're doing. And we allowing that to happen. We sit back and we talk and we talk and we talk with no actions.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So when you look at what is happening, like you watch maybe a video of mine online and you reach out to me, what stood out to you when you hear me speak about Cameroon and everything?
How we need to pull together as Cameroonians and take back our land and resources and do it safely. We don't have to do it in balance, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Paul knows that he's doing wrong. So it shouldn't be any balance. He know he's not taking care of business. He ain't did it in all these years, so he's still not going to do it. But I do respect my elders.
Yeah.
But I will say when you're wrong.
Yeah. So you think that the nation should be united and we should have complete control over our resources and the affairs of our nation. Dividing is not the solution. That is what you're saying.
Yes, I don't see no point why we paying taxes to, I guess, France. That makes no sense to me when our taxes can stay here.
So you were saying that you don't see any reason why we should be paying taxes to France, that we can have complete control over our resources, unite the nation, and be able to move forward as a people.
Yes, because it's, instead of paying resources to France, that money that we paying taxes to, we can take that money and build roads ourselves, be a business ourselves. We do not need them. If we're going to pay taxes, make the taxes benefit us. They're not benefiting us.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
so
go ahead.
Yeah, so when you look at, like, you did your ancestral DNA and discovered that you're from Cameroon. What intrigues me about your story, which I want our audience to hear from you, is you're coming from a descendants of individuals that were sold as slaves. In spite, because I know that our ancestors did participate in that trade, and it was wrong, absolutely wrong. There is no justification for that action. But yet, after conducting your ancestral DNA, you still choose to have love towards your country of origin, and you want to come back home and be able to help. Like, what made you want to do that? Like, what made you feel like you should have this compassion and want to work with us to help move the nation forward?
When I did the research on my tribe, I was amazed to know that, and I didn't hear it from my own people. I heard it from them doing videos on my tribe. And they was basically saying that masters was sold cheap. We were sold for cheap because we committed suicide. We rather die than be slaves. Where we jumped off ships, we killed ourselves, so we were sold for cheap. And also going back, I can only go back to fourth generation of knowing who my grandmother was, because they didn't record slaves.
Yeah.
So for the actual grandmother that actually came on that ship, it is hard to even find that information. So once I went back to all the way my fourth generation grandmother, her name was Joanne Griffin. So that's when I decided to go ahead on and then do the DNA. But I also found out who a master's was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I found a whole lot out.
Okay. Wow.
But for me to want to come home, even hearing that some of the tribes help in selling us and catching our people, you know, it hurts.
Yeah.
But y'all still my people. And I don't think y'all done as bad as they did. Not from what history tells how they done us.
Yeah. So the fast. Yes, go ahead, man.
At the end of the day, we have to unite as a people. They do it. They might disagree with each other. They might have killed. And matter of fact, their history is brutal. They fought each other before they even come and got us. That is what they did to each other. But still, they can sit around the table and discuss what they can take from us. So why can't we forgive our brothers and sisters and sit at a table and take back what belongs to us? Beautiful. I don't see no reason why we can't.
Amazing. That's beautiful. And that is the fascinating thing about your story, is that we have our fellow brothers that speak English or speak French. We will fight and kill each other because of differences in language. And here you are saying, regardless of what has happened in the past, the white people also have a brutal history, and they fought each other, but yet they've sat down on the table and still unite on a common goal. And why can't we do so? So I think your message is so powerful, and I think it's an awakening to us. And you are touching this part of the world, like you are speaking to Cameroonians, but I think your story is a story for other African countries to learn.
Yeah.
So when you did your ancestral DNA and you discovered that you were from Cameroon, and how did you feel about that?
Oh, I tried to dig every research I could about my tribe. Okay. Every resource about Cameroon. I even joined all type of Facebook groups. And moreover, I cried. Yeah. I cried for many weeks. Yes, I did. Wow. Because I just couldn't believe that all these years I just been told a lie. And it hurts to be told a lie and I'm 40 years old. That really hurts to know that, because the only thing that we are taught here in the United States that we were slaves, that's it. Nothing else. So to find out that we are more than just that you got written in that history book, it hurts to find that out.
Yeah. So, ma'am, from our conversation, you have a background in the medical field. Like you've gone on to talk about the school that you and your husband own, and the school you've gone on to start as well. So what is your background? You in the health sector. Like, can you briefly explain? Like you talked about a data entry system that can actually help individuals in the health sector. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, over here, I'm a medical coder. I do inpatient role. But what I want to bring to Cameroon in the healthcare system is electronic health records. I noticed when I Googled some of the schools and read about it, we're still on paper. And that's something that we need to get away from. Because if all that paper burned, then we have no records of our people's health. And that's a crucial role when it comes to taking care of us. That we need to have down what is wrong with us or what's going on with the patients. If we don't have what's going on, if it's burnt, it's like starting from new.
Yeah.
So I want to help to bring the healthcare system up to a standpoint where everything is electronic. And also we have where we can just say that I leave Cameroon and go to Nigeria. Say I go there and get put in the emergency room. Well, the doctor there can exchange records from Cameroon without faxing or emailing, because the doctor can automatically pull our records up from exchange all across the globe. I'm in Arkansas, but if I go to Chicago up north, they can exchange my records from Arkansas. And I think that we need that in Africa.
Wow, beautiful. So, so that is your background. You actually work in the medical field, and that is what you've been able to study and practice for years. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, my actual field is the medical coding side, which is the medical records department, and that's my line of job is just say you go to the doctor and they say you got high blood pressure. Well, when the chart comes to me, I will put I-10 on your chart, and it goes to billing, and then a billing sends it to whoever insurance company with, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Medicare, Medicaid. But that's how the bill get paid. It doesn't get paid. It have to come through me to get paid. And I think some of them, I don't know how Cameroon are y'all set up on any classification systems.
Yeah.
ICD-10. I don't know if Cameroon was set up in any.
Yeah, so I don't really understand. It's been a long time since I left home, so I don't understand how the medical system or the system in the medical field looks like. But looking at the vision that I do have for the nation, looking at what has worked across the world, my organization and what we are pushing for is to empower young people, empower maybe citizens of Cameroon in the 7 industries that are transforming the global economy. And out of those 7 industries, healthcare is one of them. Finance, technology, agriculture, real estate and construction, renewable energy, the media and entertainment sector. So these are the industries that we intend to train Cameroonians in, with the hope that if these individuals are trained at a professional level, because the target is 3,000. So imagine we have 3,000 professionally trained Cameroonians in these 7 industries. They will create businesses that will employ other Cameroonians, and we will gradually come out of poverty. And I think that at least because the healthcare system, like you said, is not the best, I think it's a work in progress. And so that is the ballpark of the vision, and it's a 20 years vision. Yes. So we are laying, yes, we are laying the foundation right now. So 3,000 Cameroonians in the 7 industries that are transforming the global economy. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome because I see a lot of business in Cameroon. I can vision that in my mind, like the logs that they cut down. Why cut the logs down and split them up and go put them on a ship and ship them out? Why not cut them up and make boards out of them and sell it to them?
Yeah.
Why not take our, I guess, gold or whatever we have over there?
Yeah.
Instead of scrapping it and giving it to them, why can't we melt it down and make bars out of them? That's what they're doing with it, and sell it to them.
Yeah.
Everything that we have over there, we can pretty much process ourselves and sell it just like they would. We have to empower ourselves and bring businesses to our own communities. And it's there. When we talk about bringing money, I don't think we just need to be talking about trying to find money outside the source when our money is right there. And another thing, if myself, if I was president, I would print my own money. I wouldn't even take no money, and I wouldn't take no loans. Why would you take loans when you got resources? If I want you to build, how about I give you some of these resources and you come over here and build? But what I'm gonna take a loan out for? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand that loan situation. That's just nonsense.
Yeah, and I don't think Cameroonians have tapped up to 10% of the resources that they have. Like there's a lot of resources that can really transform that nation. Like they call Cameroon, maybe you've heard about it through your research. Cameroon is called Africa's in miniature. And
yes,
what that
on Facebook. I was wondering what that meant.
Yes, that means anything that you can find in every other nation in Africa, you can find that in Cameroon.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So, and also, yes, we are the only nation in Africa that speaks like have English and French as our official language. That is the two powerful colonial masters. They led the English zone, the British with the English zone, and France with the French zone.
I think Cameroon problem is that we want to be like them, and we ain't like them. Who we are. We are African Americans. Well, Africans.
Yes.
So you can't follow their footsteps. We have to follow our own destiny. As long as we keep looking over our shoulder, watching what they're doing, we will continue to follow them.
And that is exactly what you're saying. What you're saying is so powerful because the reason why we are fighting right now is over the heritage of the colonial masters.
Yeah, that don't.
We are fighting. Yes, we are fighting because of the heritage of the British compared to the heritage of what France left. That is the board of contention. That is why we are fighting.
But if you get rid of both of them, then we just got us.
Yeah, we got
what do we need them for? Because all these years they haven't helped us, so they not intend to help us. We just have to go with the facts. We have to help ourselves.
Yeah.
As the good book say, work without faith.
Yeah.
To me, you should use it as your advantage. If you're going to read it, you have to work for what you want.
Yeah. I like that. Like you got.
You can't be bickering against each other while you bickering and fighting, and they probably giving you all the guns anyway to kill each other like they do over here anyway. So why would you do that? And while you're not paying attention, they just flying off with our resources, and we fighting for nothing. And we still, at the end of the day, we still at the bottom.
Yeah.
When we get done fighting, we still at the bottom. So we need to come out of that.
Yeah, like thousands of young people have died because of this war. It really breaks my heart. And if you look at it carefully, it is because of the historical events that the older generation have shared with the younger generation and let them know the reason why they are backwards or why they don't have opportunities in that country is because of the government. So when you look at a situation like this, what would your advice be to the older generation and the younger generation? Like you just talked about hard work and all of that, but what would your advice be if you're looking at this situation? Because if we have to move the nation forward, we have to come to a place of understanding.
I say our younger generation, and I'm talking for myself on down of my age group, it's time for us to come back home and take what is ours. That land and resources belong to us, not them. Until we can understand that and unite as a people, we will always be on the bottom. So we have to take control of our own destiny. If not, we don't have a destiny.
Mm. So you don't think that maybe the West is coming to save us? You don't think so?
They ain't saved us in all these years. So why what make you think they gonna save us now?
How about the government? You think the government is going to save us? The government of Cameroon, you think maybe they're gonna save us?
The government that's in there now?
The people are hoping that the government will come in and solve the problem.
No, if we talking about the president, if he ain't doing nothing, he ain't trying to do nothing.
Yeah.
He just popping his pockets. And really you have to try to understand this and not to be just because you know he's a leader and doing wrong by us, that don't mean that we should go off and disrespect him.
Powerful.
I feel that we have to understand where he's coming from. Because back then, our leaders was assassinated. So you have to understand the things that he's doing out of fear. Mm. But when you got a young generation that's going on, we're not in fear. We're not going to let you push us around. And all that talking about that they be talking about going back in slavery, we ain't going back there. We're not going back there. So ain't no need of you even talking about that.
Yeah.
So it's a difference when you're talking about long time ago in the back 1960s and 70s up to 2024.
Oh, yeah.
When you got the young generation coming along, because we're not scared to lay down.
Yeah.
Versus compared to back then. Yeah.
So you just touched a very interesting angle, because one of the things that the people, because I'm from the Anglophone zone, that is, I was born in the Anglophone zone. One of the challenges that I've faced is that my people from the English zone don't understand, like, why would I come up and I'm not criticizing the government? They expected me to be criticizing the government like they're doing, or the president, like most Anglophones are doing. And I'm not doing that. And I'm instead saying, I understand where he's coming from, like you just said, but we got to understand where he's coming from and what he's been through and the time that he became president and what he's gone through. But we, the young people, can look at the nation a little bit different, come together, help even our president, so that we can move together forward. Is that exactly what you're saying?
Yes. Well, it's what I'm saying in a sense, but I don't think he needs to be our leader no more. I think he should need to go back to his village. And I think we should have someone young in our age running. I don't think older men should run, especially if they have fear in their heart. And that's what they're counting on. They're counting on someone with fear in their heart. Go back over there. I'm on the screen.
That's your son?
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. So what you're saying is the young people should rise up. We should have somebody that is young, understand what is going on, be in power, that is fearless, so that they can be able to address some of the concerns that the nation does have, right? Or the nation is facing. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, because I noticed that with all the coups that's going on, and what they call them coups, I call them a revolution, because they taking back what is theirs. That's what I call it. And nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
They just basically removing them and then taking charge. And I think that the leaders understand that when they get taken over. They understand what's going on. We're not doing a coup like from history, what I read, when the West did their coup, they assassinated our people to take control. We're not doing that. We simply saying you step down, go back to your village and let us control. Because you're not leading us the right way. And it's time for you to step down. It simply is what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So with that, I think we've touched like almost everything. But if you see what is happening right now in the nation, and if you look at our history, if you see the struggles that we have been through, like the opportunities that lie within our nation, others believe in us, believe in the possibilities and the potential that we have besides us. And I think, like, if you tell a young person in Cameroon right now that there are opportunities here, there are opportunities you can take advantage of, they will tell you, no, you have to travel abroad. There is no way for you to make it here. You got to go abroad. You got to go to some foreign nation to be prosperous. And you, growing up in the West, what is your take on that? Because this is a big issue or big conversation in the country.
Well, they think they coming. Most of them, I have researched a lot of our Cameroonians over here in America, and I put a post on Facebook, and I asked a question: who do the resources belong to in Cameroon? Who do the land and resources belong to in Cameroon? I got about 5 responses. One said Paul, the other one said the West, and the other one's like they didn't know. And I just didn't understand that for them to live in that country and not know that the land and resources belong to us. I'm just not understanding that, and you want to leave what you have to build businesses because it's many opportunities. When I talk of business, I'm talking grocery stores, lumber companies, cell phone services, internet. I think of big business when I'm thinking business. I don't think about small businesses, something that'll prosper.
Yeah.
And to me, they leave in Cameroon to come over here to get a dollar that's backed by nothing. And I don't even think that our Africans on the continent know that the dollar is not backed by anything. You can't even trade it for gold or silver.
Yeah.
So I just don't, I know that when I talk to some of them, they make very low wages. But I'm assuming they make
the Cameroonians, the Cameroonians in the diaspora, they make very low wages based on your experience, based on your conversation. Yeah.
So when y'all come over here, y'all make little also?
No, I think some of the Cameroonians here, most of them are in the medical field. So most of them are probably nurses with RN. Some of them are maybe Uber drivers. Some of them are into the tech space. I think that they love them into the tech space. Some of them run businesses, home health. I think yeah. So but predominantly, most Cameroonians, based on my research, a lot of them are some of them are wealthy, like they're living good, and they are mostly in the healthcare space. So my question is, like, my understanding is, the people back home feel like the only way, but even though those who make money abroad, they barely have time to maybe do other stuff, because you know how the job system goes. You're busy, you never really get time to do other stuff. Yes, so most of them think the only way to survive is to travel abroad, while we are thinking of maybe, yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that so to traveling abroad would make it even better. Because over here, we work till we dead. Only thing we do is work, 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 work. We pay in Social Security, and we hope that we reach 62 to draw it.
Yeah.
And that's a hope.
Yeah, that's a hope. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we basically just working and living paycheck to paycheck is what we live in. Unless you be an actor.
Yeah.
Or you have a government job or a doctor or something. And that comes with how you want to live. So if you want to live like the Joneses and live above your means, then you're going to live paycheck to paycheck. So I guess it depends on how you want to live. Because personally, if I was rich, I wouldn't go out and buy all that high price stuff. Why would I buy all that? I can't take it with me.
Yeah.
So I just have to think what you want when it comes to money and how you want to live. And to me, I just want to live comfortable and make sure my kids are comfortable and they happy. That's all I want. I don't have to have all that big stuff.
Yeah. So with that, as we wrap up maybe this session, where do you see Cameroon? Like when you look at this nation, where do you see Cameroon in the next 20 years? If we take action right now and cooperatively do something to build that nation, where do you see Cameroon in the next 20 years?
Going with the scenario that I went with, to let our tax money take care of us, I see us coming out of our saving our kids. Because we can even go so far that we paying taxes, we can give food stamps to the ones who's not able to work until they can find work. That's a means of way they do it over here. Why can't we do it there? Why not use what they give us to our benefit to us? I'm not saying take everything and copy from us, which that's what they did anyways, but use some other things that they using in place to help our own people.
So, and that is beautiful that you said that, because that is exactly the strategy that I hope to deploy, is look at what has worked for Americans in these industries and be able to model the same system back home. And I think if we consistently do that over 20 years, we can move our GDP, because my hope is that the GDP moves right now is approximately 45 billion US dollars. So if we consistently maybe model what works, we can move that GDP to $1 trillion in the next 20 years.
Another issue I have with that is, why do we compare our money to USA?
We can convert that to francs and get, but we right now we are using, yes.
Why do we compare our money to them? Because our money should trump their money. Our dollar should be worth $2 compared to their $1. Simple reason is because our money will be backed by resources and gold and diamonds or whatever we have, when theirs are backed by nothing. So why can our dollar be $2?
Okay, makes sense.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My thing is moving totally away from them, not holding their hands. As long as we keep holding their hand, it's like we need them. Or it's like military, we don't need them. Look how many people there. And over here in the United States, you have to sign up for the Army at the age of 18 to 26. Why you think we got so many people in the Army in the United States? So why can't we just use the same strategy? Look how many people we have.
Yeah.
If you look at statistics, it's more of us in the world than it is them. So I'm just saying, just think about it, what we need them for.
Yeah. But what you agree on is that let's model what works so that we can be able to take the same things we've seen work here in America, like the medical system, the data system that you've talked about, and we model that back home so that we can be able to elevate the conditions of our people. Is that correct? Yeah. And we can do that in other industries as well, and be able to enhance our economy.
Yes, and have one currency. We should
And
have 2 or 3 currencies. What we need all that for?
yeah, yeah, we have just one. We have one currency right now, the francs CFA. That's what we use.
We should
Right.
have francs. We should have our own.
Beautiful. Yeah, but we can get there. that is a good goal. Like we can actually walk towards that. I mean, it's been a beautiful conversation. Is there any other thing you feel like you want to say to the people, like based on you getting to know the community, your heart for the people, wanting to get on board to help move the nation forward? What else do you have to say for the people? Say to the people before we leave.
I just want to say to the Cameroonians in the diaspora, it's time for us to go home and take what is rightfully ours. And the Cameroonians that's on the continent, stop fighting over nonsense. That's not going to help us at all. We need to unite as a people. And I will leave you with this. I do love my people very much. That I'm willing to come back home and fight and leave what I have. That's how much I love my people.
Beautiful. I think that is a beautiful note to end on. Miss Wendy, it's been a pleasure knowing you for this short time. You speak from your heart, and I can feel that you really love the nation like I do, and we want to cooperatively move it forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to cooperating with you and looking for ways that we can come together, get the rest of the diaspora Cameroonians, and let's see what we can do in cooperation with the people back home. This job is not just for the government or the president. We can collectively do something for our nation.
Yes.
And it's been a pleasure, and I had a good time, and I think the conversation was amazing.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, Ms. Wendy. All right. If you like this video, you're going to like this other episode, and you can watch it by clicking right here.